Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in every life when you must look in the mirror not at the wrinkles, not at the scars, not at the story the world has written on your face, but deep into your own eyes and ask one sacred question: do I believe in me? Life responds not to our wishes, but to our beliefs. This truth sits quietly behind every success story, every breakthrough, every moment of transformation. You can dream endlessly, make vision boards, and talk about what you desire, but if at the core of your being you don't truly believe you deserve it or that it can happen for you, then the energy you send into the world contradicts the very thing you seek. Belief is not a surface thought or a casual hope. It is a vibration, a frequency that aligns you with the life you want to live. When you believe deeply, your mind, emotions, and actions all move in harmony toward that belief. Belief shapes your perception, and perception shapes your reality. Two people can face the same situation. One sees limitation, the other sees possibility. The difference lies not in the world around them, but in the conviction within them. Your belief system acts like a filter through which you interpret life. If you believe you are capable, life presents opportunities to prove it. If you believe you are unworthy, life reflects that belief through obstacles, disappointments, and delays. What you continuously hold to be true becomes the script by which you live. You become both the writer and the actor of that script, creating experiences that confirm your inner assumptions. To believe in yourself means to trust the unseen currents working in your favor. It is not blind optimism. It is knowing that the same intelligence that spins the planets and grows the trees also moves through you. When you hold faith in your own potential, you give the universe permission to deliver on that faith. Your thoughts send signals, your emotions amplify them, and your actions give them form. This alignment of belief, emotion, and action creates a magnetic force that draws experiences matching your conviction. Many people struggle because they believe more in their limitations than in their power. They recite affirmations but carry silent doubts underneath their words. True belief cannot be faked, it must be felt. It comes from recognizing your divine origin and accepting that you are worthy of good things simply because you exist. The moment you believe this, you start to see evidence of it everywhere. Life begins to mirror your confidence. You find courage where you once hesitated, clarity where confusion once ruled, and strength where fear used to live. Belief is the starting point of creation, the quiet seed that grows into everything you imagine possible. You are not here by chance. Every heartbeat, every breath, every moment of your existence carries intention. The power that created galaxies and orchestrated the rhythm of the universe also designed you with precision and purpose. You were not born randomly or accidentally placed on this planet. You are a deliberate creation of a divine intelligence that never makes mistakes. This truth can be easy to forget in a world that constantly tells you who you should be, what you should look like, and how you should live. Yet beneath all the noise there is a deeper reality. Your life has meaning that transcends circumstance, background, or struggle. When you truly understand that you are divinely created, your perspective on yourself and others begins to shift. You stop comparing your path to someone else's because you realize that no two purposes are identical. Just as every snowflake forms in perfect uniqueness, every human being carries a distinct blend of gifts, lessons, and potential. Your talents, passions, and even your challenges were not randomly assigned. They were chosen as tools for your soul's growth. Every experience, whether joyful or painful, serves the higher plan of your unfolding. Believing that you are purposeful means recognizing that you are part of something infinitely larger than yourself. The same force that turns seeds into forests and whispers to the ocean tides also moves through your thoughts, your words, and your dreams. You are a vessel for divine expression, and through you, the universe experiences creation in a way it never has before. When you begin to see yourself this way, self-doubt loses its grip. You stop asking, "Who am I to do this?" and start saying, "Who am I not to?" Your worth does not need to be proven or earned. It was established the moment you took your first breath. Living with the awareness of your divine purpose does not mean life will be without challenges. It means that every challenge becomes sacred ground for transformation. You start to see that even your difficulties have meaning, that they are shaping you into the person who can fulfill the destiny planted within you. When you embrace this truth, you no longer wander aimlessly or look to others for validation. You begin to walk with quiet confidence, guided by an inner knowing that your life matters. You are a deliberate expression of divine creativity, and your purpose is the light you are meant to shine into the world. When you begin to believe in yourself, something unseen yet powerful begins to move on your behalf. It is as if the entire universe has been waiting for your signal, for that one inner shift from doubt to faith. Self-belief is not just a personal attitude. It is a spiritual command that activates unseen forces working in harmony with your intention. When you trust your abilities, your worth, and your divine connection, you align yourself with a current of energy that draws opportunities, people, and experiences to support your vision. Life does not favor the lucky, it favors the aligned. Belief is a form of permission. When you give yourself permission to succeed, to create, to love, the universe mirrors that permission back to you. You begin to attract situations that reflect your confidence. This is not magic. It is energy responding to energy. Doubt and fear send out resistance. Belief and faith send out openness. When you are open, possibilities find you with ease. You meet the right person at the right moment. Doors open that once seemed closed, and inspiration flows without effort. These are not coincidences but confirmations that your inner world and outer world are finally in sync. The universe is responsive, not reactive. It listens to your emotional vibration, not your words. You may say, "I want to be successful," but if deep inside you believe you are unworthy or incapable, that is the message you are truly sending. Belief is the language of creation, and the universe speaks it fluently. When your belief in yourself grows stronger, you naturally make choices that honor that belief. You take chances, speak your truth, and follow your intuition. You no longer chase outcomes because you understand that what is meant for you cannot miss you when your energy is aligned with faith. Believing in yourself also creates inner peace. When you know that a higher power supports you, you stop forcing outcomes or fearing the unknown. You move with grace rather than urgency. You begin to see challenges not as punishments, but as invitations to grow deeper in trust. Every step forward becomes a statement to the universe that you are ready for more. The invisible hands of creation move when you do. Your belief is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, the dream and its fulfillment. When you stand firmly in self-belief, the universe rearranges itself to match your certainty, and life begins to unfold in miraculous, often unexpected ways. Too often in life, people wait for others to tell them that they are good enough, ready enough, or worthy enough to pursue what their heart already knows is possible. They wait for validation, applause, or a sign from the outside world before stepping into their greatness. But the truth is, no one else can give you permission to shine. The approval you seek from others is only a reflection of the approval you have not yet given yourself. When you truly understand this, you begin to live from a place of freedom instead of fear. You stop chasing acceptance and start radiating confidence born from within. Every soul carries its own crown, a symbol of divine authority and inherent worth. Yet many people walk through life unaware that it is already resting upon their head. They believe they need to earn it through achievements, recognition, or the approval of others. But your worth was established long before you accomplished anything. It was stamped on your soul the moment you were created. waiting for someone else to recognize that truth only delays your journey and keeps you bound to other people's opinions. The world does not need your imitation of someone else's greatness. It needs your authentic expression of who you are. When you stop seeking permission, you reclaim your power. You begin to move from a place of purpose rather than pressure. You realize that no external validation can equal the quiet certainty that comes from inner knowing. That certainty is your divine compass, guiding you toward what you were born to do. Others may not see your vision because it was not given to them. It was given to you. The dream in your heart is your personal invitation from the universe, and it does not require anyone else's signature to become real. Choosing to stop waiting for permission is not an act of rebellion, it is an act of remembrance. It is remembering that the light you carry was meant to shine, not to be hidden until the world deems it acceptable. The moment you recognize your own power, you break the invisible chains that have kept you small. You stop apologizing for existing and start creating from authenticity. The world responds differently when you do. It bends in favor of those who have claimed their own worth. Your light does not need validation to shine. It simply needs your willingness to let it. Believing in yourself is not arrogance. It is alignment with the truth of who you are. Many people mistake self-belief for pride or ego, but true belief has nothing to do with boasting or comparing yourself to others. It is a quiet, sacred recognition that the same divine intelligence that created mountains, stars, and oceans also lives within you. To believe in yourself is to honor that presence, to acknowledge that you are not separate from the source of creation, but an extension of it. When you stand in that awareness, you no longer need to prove your worth or superiority because you already know your value. Arrogance comes from insecurity, alignment comes from peace. The arrogant person tries to convince others of their greatness because they secretly doubt it themselves. The aligned person simply lives it with humility and purpose. They understand that their talents, ideas, and gifts are not possessions of the ego, but expressions of the divine flowing through them. When you act from that place of alignment, you naturally inspire others without needing to control or impress them. Your confidence becomes calm and steady, grounded in faith rather than fueled by competition. To live in spiritual alignment is to see yourself as a channel of something greater. You realize that believing in yourself is not about saying, "I can do this alone," but rather, "I trust the power within me that guides all things." This shift dissolves fear because you stop depending solely on your limited self and start relying on the infinite intelligence working through you. Every creative thought, every moment of courage, every intuitive idea comes from that divine source. When you align with it through belief, your actions become more effortless and your results more meaningful. This kind of belief changes how you show up in the world. You move with grace instead of ego, confidence instead of doubt, compassion instead of control. You begin to see others not as competition, but as fellow expressions of the same divine essence. Alignment breeds humility, and humility breeds strength. When you understand that your light does not dim another's, you become free to shine without fear or guilt. True belief in yourself is an act of love toward the divine energy that created you. It is saying yes to your purpose, yes to your gifts, and yes to the infinite power that chose you as its vessel. Transformation always begins with affirmation. The words you speak to yourself shape the foundation of your reality because they carry the energy of belief. Every time you affirm, "I believe in me," you are planting a seed in the soil of your subconscious mind, and with repetition, that seed begins to grow roots. Affirmation is not a simple statement of hope. It is a declaration of truth that reprograms your thinking and aligns your emotions and actions with faith instead of fear. The more you repeat words of belief, the more your mind starts to accept them as fact, and the more your life begins to reflect that internal shift. Most people underestimate the power of their inner dialogue. They speak words of doubt, limitation, and unworthiness without realizing they are affirming the very reality they wish to escape. The mind listens carefully to every word, and it does not distinguish between truth and falsehood. It simply accepts what it is told with enough emotion and repetition. When you affirm your belief in yourself, you interrupt the cycle of negative thinking that has kept you small. You begin to overwrite years of conditioning that told you you're not enough, not capable, or not ready. Each affirmation becomes an act of self-liberation, a conscious choice to rewrite your inner story. Affirmation is also a spiritual practice because words carry creative energy. The universe responds to your dominant vibration, and your words are one of the strongest expressions of that vibration. When you speak words of faith, you send out a frequency that attracts circumstances matching that energy. Life begins to meet you at the level of your belief. You notice small signs of progress, coincidences that align in your favor, and opportunities that mirror your growing confidence. These are confirmations that your inner words are shaping your outer world. The practice of affirming belief in yourself is not about ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It is about choosing to focus your energy on truth rather than illusion. Every great change starts with a new thought, and that thought is strengthened through repetition. Over time, the words "I believe in me" stop being something you say and become something you feel. That feeling transforms into a knowing, and that knowing becomes the unshakable foundation for your actions. When belief becomes your daily language, transformation becomes your daily reality, because the mind and the universe both move in harmony with the energy of your conviction.